Hey guys, Bart from TST Industries here. In this video, we're going to show you the installation of these TechSpec Gripster tank pads on a 2015 and up Yamaha R1. These tank grips adhere to the tank and the surrounding area, and they increase the friction of this area to limit the amount of slip you'll experience during heavy deceleration and cornering. This is a very simple installation, so let's begin. So, first thing we need to do is clean off this area, make sure that it's stripped of any dirt and grime and grease. We'll use some denatured alcohol. Want to make sure that there is no grease left behind so that our tank pads adhere properly and stay adhered. Since we're going to be applying the grips to this area and the tank, I'm going to clean up both of these areas thoroughly. Now we can just let the alcohol evaporate, come back to our work table, and remove the grips from their packaging. This particular kit for the R1 comes with a center tank grip or tank protector. So we'll be applying that last. First thing we're going to focus on is the actual tank grip. We're going to use painter's tape and we're going to mock it up first. We want to find our proper location on the tank itself before we go ahead and stick it down. So I'll be using a number of sections of this tape to fix it in place and then make a template. All right, so we're going to try to find appropriate position here, considering the fact that in a very fast riding position, your torso's right here and your butt's somewhere up here and your knees are somewhere down here. So you want the maximum grip area to be where you have maximum surface area of the tank grip. I think this is the proper location for me, so I'm going to lock this down with this tape, and I'm going to do this on a couple sides here, making sure it doesn't come off. All right, and now I will begin forming the template. So the idea here is to outline the grip itself so that after we remove it, to remove the masking from the back of it, we could always return it to the area where we want it, and we have the template that tells us where that is. I'll just reuse this piece here. All right. So now when we take the grip off, could always return it to that position we liked it in. We'll be able to stick it right where it was when we found the optimal position. All right, so let's take the grip over to the bench right now. We will need to heat it up just a bit with a heat gun. With my heat gun on low, I will move across the top side of the grip to soften it up. That will increase its pliability and it will conform to the shape of the tank better than when it's cold, and it'll make the installation really easy. And you don't want to dwell in one area. You don't want to overheat the adhesive or the pad itself, so you want to keep moving across the surface. Now, once I feel the same temperature on top as on the bottom, I can move over back to the bike and then begin the application process. What I'll do is take take a little bit of the masking off, peel it back, and I will adjust the grip here to get it back into the position that I want it in, I made a template for. And press down on the first part that made contact between the adhesive and the tank. Now I'm just going to make sure that I'm still conforming to my original template, and it looks like I am. Now I will peel back the rest of the masking and slowly roll the grip on. Now if at some point you make a mistake in how you place this on your tank, or if after a time at the track or riding the street you figure out that you'd like to replace it, it's okay. These things are replaceable. The instructions included with each pad set instructs you how to take them off properly and reapply them. So it's a good idea to roll out all the bubbles that are encapsulated in the adhesive portion of this pad. If you don't have a roller, you can use a larger socket and just make sure you apply enough pressure so that any bubble that is still caught under there will be expelled. This also will give you a better adhesion to the surface below. All right, and now we can just get off the template masking, and this pad is ready. We'll now move on to adhering the pad that goes in this area below the tank. I'm going to follow the same exact process of setting up the template. First, I'm going to figure out where I want this pad to adhere to. And once I make my decision on that, I'll get myself a couple pieces of tape that are ready to lock this piece in place. Now what you want to make sure is that the hole provided in the tank grip will align with the hole for the screw here. So we'll use that as a pivotal point. And then we'll also use the top of the grip and the top of this black panel under the tank to align. Now, just as before, I'll get more masking tape and adhere it as a template. I'm going to make a little correction here. I'm going to redo this one in a little bit. I want to make sure that the top has the same distance between the top of the black panel and the grip all along here. All right, that looks good. Still on the center of the hole. All right. So now we will come back to the table and heat up this pad just like we did with the first one we adhered. Again, on low. All right, now that I've reached a uniform temperature on top and bottom, I'm going to go back to the bike. This time we're going to begin with the back side, since the hole location is critical here. Once again, I'm going to peel back on the masking and expose the adhesive. Go this far. Now I'm going to align my grip with where it needs to go using my template. good here. Press it into place to conform to all the contours of the black panel behind it. I'll remove the rest of the masking. And once again, what we want to do is slowly apply to this crease first, making sure that we're conforming to our template. And then work the adhesive up and down from the crease. All right, so I'm happy with the location. I'm gonna go over this pad with my socket to press it all down and press out the bubbles. All right, so now I will inspect the top edge of this pad, and you want to make sure that the top edge is adhered really properly. You want a strong adhesion there because that'll be the first point of contact with your knee in case your knee slides down. You want to make sure that the adhesion survives. So I'll just roll it over one more time, give a little inspection. It's looking good. And now we will allow 12 hours for that adhesive to properly cure and give us a nice consistent adhesion of these pads to these components. In the meantime, we'll jump over to the other side of the bike and adhere these pads on that side. And after that, we will do the center tank pad and we'll be ready to go. So in preparation for our center tank pad, we will once again clean the area it's supposed to be adhered to. Now we need to make a decision of where this pad will go. Now, some guys may want to put it down here for protection against belt buckles or zippers or something of that nature. Personally, I like to get grip for my chest because my torso is slid back and my butt is as far back as it can go, coming off a straight and braking hard, and this is where I need the most grip. So I would like to utilize this for my chest here and aid in the grip that these tank pads provide, but this will grip my chest and prevent me from sliding forward, enabling me to still use my controls while being light on my hands. So I think this is the location where I will apply it. Using the same method as we used for the side panels. We'll lock it in place and then design a template for where the ultimate placement is going to be. This looks good to me. For this particular part, my strategy is going to be to locate these corners first and then roll the rest down from there. All right. So now we will need to heat up this pad. It won't require too much heating because we don't need to distort its original shape too much to get it to conform to the surface below it. All right, I think now we're ready to apply this to the tank. So I'm going to peel back on the masking, and I will use this edge to locate based on my template here. Now I'll roll it into place with the socket like it did for the other panels. All right, give it a little inspection, making sure the edges are adhered. So now this installation is pretty much complete. We'll just wait the prescribed 12 hours so that our adhesive sets. And tomorrow we'll take it to the track and we'll give you guys some impressions on what we thought about the level of grip and how it improves the overall feel of the bike. So this weekend we got a chance to take this bike to the track and test our freshly installed tank grips. Let me tell you, these things provide really good grip. I was really amazed at the amount of grip I had during braking, during cornering. I was not shifting around whatsoever. If it's grip you're after, these components are what you're looking for. I'll give them a thumbs up.